Hello, welcome to another Gundam Operation 2 video. That is the new suit, the ReZEL Type C Defensor B unit. It's kind of weird how the B isn't capitalized in that, but but yeah, I do have two matches here for you. This first match is going to be in space, in Derelict Colony, I believe, and the next match is going to be on ground at 650 at on City Ruins. And yeah, just to talk about the suit real fast, this is a really fun suit. I've had a lot of fun playing matches with this, even though I've been having like 50-50 matches with it, right? Win or lose. It's a pretty fun suit. There's a lot of different builds you can do with this slot-wise, and you can go range or melee. It has a bunch of different weapons for different situations where you got, you got multiple melee weapons. You do have multiple different combo initiating weapon, or I should say combo extender, combo initiating, or just damage, in terms of weapons. In both in and out of transformation. So honestly, I've been having a lot of fun with this, but we're gonna see why exactly that might be. So let's go ahead and get right into the stats here. As I said, this is a 650 support. You have 20,000 health with 26 ballistic and beam resistance. You have 20 melee resistance, 55 range strength, and 10 melee strength. 135 movement speed, which at mobile armor mode it goes to 190. You have 200 boost speed, which is 230 in mobile armor mode, 75 thruster gauge, and 63 turning speed, which goes down to 57 in mobile armor mode. And for slots, you do have 12 close, 20 mid, and 16 long range slots. And yeah, honestly, looking at this, you can do a bunch of different builds. The build I have for both of these matches, I have max melee resistance and still managed to have 80 range strength. So if somebody tries to stop me from, I guess, just doing my usual just support stuff, right? They're gonna do less damage to me when they're trying to do their typical like stun and melee combos, which is pretty nice. Although there's still some units, like the ones that are super melee focused, they'll still be doing good damage overall, right? Or at least decent damage to you. But still, that is pretty good. And of course, because of these slots and the weapons that you have, and just everything else, you can do a bunch of different builds. Like I said, you can do like range focus. You don't have to add that melee resistance if you don't want to. You can do a melee build. You can do a thruster gauge build because the thing does transform. You got a bunch of different things you can actually do with this, which is quite nice, honestly. So yeah, you can kind of just build what you kind of want to, right? But yeah, let's go ahead and go right into the weapons now. Starting off with your primary weapon, you have the ReZEL beam rifle, appearing once more from the, actually I think it was only just the ReZEL it's on, right? Can't think of another suit. Oh wait, no, wait. Wasn't it on the, it's on the A1 now, right? I can't remember. But yeah, that is 1,900 damage with 5 rounds, 300 range, and of course you can charge this, and when you do charge it, it actually goes significantly farther, almost like sniping distance it feels like using this. And when you do charge it, it will consume 2 shots, and of course, do more damage. And yeah, this is just a basic stunning tool, and of course, you can use it to do more damage at range when you do charge this up. And because this is a support, you will do more damage because of that. And yeah, it can be pretty good for just, again, initiating at range if maybe you're waiting on something else to reload or get out of overheat. Again, you can use it for basic stuns. I use this weapon oftentimes after another stuns because, I can just combo right into this beam rifle, right, for a stun, all that good stuff. Or, maybe if I want to combine it with, if somebody's on low health, I can use this to get a stun and then follow up with something that'll probably kill them afterwards, right? So there's a lot of things you can use this beam rifle for, combining with it all your other weapons that you have, which is really nice. And for your melee weapon, you have the ReZEL beam saber, which is 2,300 damage. And of course, I was about to say, of course, this comes with the beam spear, but that's actually for the beam rifle, so my bad. I'll get to that when we get there. If you guys don't know, the ReZEL beam rifle does give you the beam spear as a melee weapon. But yeah, you got the ReZEL beam saber, which is 2,300 damage, and yep, just a very, very basic moveset. I believe the downswing is the same as the ReZEL's. I'm pretty sure that downswing is shared by a lot of the high cost Federation suits, at least like past 500. It feels very familiar, right, looking at it. So, but hey, I mean, it gets the job done if you want to come in and go do some melee. This thing does have balancers and force injectors, which is surprising. So yeah, honestly, pretty nice opportunities to use this combined with your other weapons. All right, now we're on to the secondary weapon. Starting off, you have the armed grenade launcher, which is 1,000 damage with 2 rounds and 300 range. It takes both shots to stun, which is fine. You know, you shoot somebody on the ground, get that instant stun. I say instant stun, accumulation stun, pretty quick accumulation stun. And of course, since it's ballistic, you'll be doing more damage to people who have low ballistic resistances, which is not a common thing people build at high cost. Usually it's beams because, you know, most suits go around using a bunch of beams, right? But yeah, it works. You know, you can use that to initiate a stun. It's good against maneuver armor suits because, you know, it takes 2 to hit. You have to be careful of damage control units, though, because, of course, you know, it's going to take more than those 2 grenades to get a stun. So you're going to use something else after that. But anyway, it's still pretty nice, you know, in terms of damage and stopping power, right? Alright, now we're on to your Vulcan gun, which is kind of weird. The Vulcans wasn't the first thing, but you have 60mm Vulcan gun, which is 110 damage with 50 rounds and 200 range. And I believe this will take 20 hits to stun if you're just using the Vulcans by itself, and it's fine. You know, they are Vulcans. They do some good damage. You know, 110 damage, and that's, you know, you being a support as well. So add on to that. If you're using it by itself to get a stun, it's not going to be that great, right? And of course, you can use the Vulcans while boosting, and you can use them to easily take out pilots as well. So you can use them just for the typical Vulcan stuff, or, you know, low health enemies, all that good stuff. Excuse me. So yeah, just Vulcans, and pretty good damage. Alright, and on to your next weapon, you have the Shield Beam Cannon, which is 750 damage with 13% heat rate, 450 range. With and yeah, you can charge this as well. When you do charge it, it charges pretty quick. You'll probably notice it throughout these 2 matches. It's something I usually initiate with first to go into my beam rifle, because it charges really fast and there's like no consequences because it doesn't overheat either. So you can pretty much just shoot one shield beam shot and then charge up another shot. And yeah, if you use it one after another, it does take 2 shots to get to overheat it. But yeah, that's still pretty good damage. And if you're using it by itself to get just the rapid fire function, I believe it takes 4 of those shots to get a stun accumulation wise. So that's pretty decent for if you're far enough away. You can use that to, you know, hit somebody boosting towards you. And if you saw during this match, I believe against the Haikushiki Kai, I can't remember if it's the mass production or not, but I was doing like over 1,000 damage. Actually, I think in the next match after this, against the Toad Strider, I was doing over 1,000 damage per shot. So if you hit all 3 of your shots, that's 3,000 damage. So you can combine that with after your ReZEL beam rifle to finish off an enemy really fast without having to charge up your beam rifle, right? So, or your beam shield, my bad. So yeah, a lot of utility in just this weapon alone. Either you want your really fast charging instant stun or your rapid fire stun accumulation, right? So yeah, pretty nice. A lot of good weapons so far. Now we're on to the Mega Beam Launcher times 2, which is 425 damage, but that's just per tick, right? And that's only on one rifle. So, you know, you imagine just doing both. Which is, yeah, it does overheat. It has a 100% heat rate, and it does have 600 range, and of course, well, you have to focus to use it. You have to charge it up. And, yeah, it's pretty much just a Jirobe beam. It's not as strong as I thought it was going to be, but, hey, real fast, mission completed. Let's see how we did on Derelict Colony. And yeah, wow, we got top assist and top damage, almost 130k. I'm proud to be pretty aggressive in the support unit. And hey, first place, 2-2. We weren't getting too many kills, but again, a lot of damage output there and assist score, and a lot of pursuit assists as well. But yeah, we're on to the ground match, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know it was pretty hectic. A lot of stuff happens here where I believe we stop an enemy team. There's like a Shazar team A that's like trying to get me the entire time. And I think at one point there's a bomb plane that goes off, and I try to take out the person. They do a perfect dodge roll. Like, there's a lot of insane stuff going on here. It kind of winds down towards the end, but you know, but still, I had a lot of fun playing both these matches, as I think I mentioned that before. But yeah, back to the Mega Beam Launcher times 2. Yeah, you do charge it up. You have to charge it up to fire. And it doesn't do as much damage as I thought it was going to be. I think the most I got out of it was 5,000, which is still good damage, right? And it kind of reminds me of the Pallas Athene's shoulder beam cannons. Excuse me. Where, oh, there's the Shazar coming up behind me. Good thing I have anti-stealth, although it doesn't matter when he's right up my ass. But yeah, it reminds me of the Palace of Athens, where it takes it's not it's not the slowest thing to charge up. It's actually pretty quick, given how it is. And instead of having to rely on stun accumulation to get a stun, it actually instant stuns on its own. And when you do use it up and it overheats, it actually doesn't take too long for it to come back to out of overheat, compared to something like the Dovin Wolves or any other suit that has a Jirobi beam, right? You know, usually it takes a good 20 seconds or something ridiculous, like 30 or whatever, like if the Fats or something, or the Full Armor 7th. But this one, it feels it feels like I can just engage somebody, I can shoot it and then engage somebody for a little bit, and then it's already ready to go. So I actually do like it, and because it does instant stun whatever tick it hits on somebody, I think that's way better than something like the Palace of Athens shoulder cannons, where they have to hit you a certain amount of times to get damage, right? The only issue is that it does 425 damage on each tick. So if you manage to hit somebody and they walk past your beam, and then they, because of latency, they get stunned afterwards, you're not going to do too much damage, right? But still, having that stun is pretty useful, and just doing a good amount of damage. And, it does penetrate as well. I don't think I use it to shoot through my teammate to kill the O, but I think there might have been a moment somewhere in these matches where I kind of shot through my teammate. Good for saving a teammate, all that good stuff. Alright, now we're on to your secondary melee weapon, the ReZEL Long Beam Saber, which is 2,200 damage, and yeah, this is just the Beam Spear. It has the same moveset as the Zeta Beam Spear, where, yeah, you just do that, just mentioning the neutral swing, it does a thrusting, just a thrust, right? A thrusting, yeah, we just call it a thrusting. The downswing, you actually do a lunge forward, and then you swing horizontally, the same as the Zeta's downswing. And yeah, you can actually do melee combos with this suit. So you can start off with the beam saber, go straight into the beam spear, and then back to your beam saber. Or if you want to catch somebody at range, because it's a beam spear, and it's kind of the beam spear is notorious for kind of hitting at a distance, right? So, and definitely you can probably hit some people at frame 1. With this, it's kind of annoying half the time, right? Depending on who you're fighting. But yeah, you can start off with that to catch somebody and get them knocked out. Then you can combo that with any of your weapons, or maybe your other melee weapon, right? So yeah, Beam Spear, pretty nice. Now we're on to... Oh yeah, you have a shield now. So that's the last thing here on this suit. Actually, no, you do have mobile arm weapons too, so holy shit, you got a lot of weapons here. But yeah, you do have the ReZEL Type C Shield Beam Cannon, which is it's 5,000 health and it's considered a large size shield. And honestly, I keep forgetting this thing does have a shield. And every time I get the option that my shield is, or I get the text that my shield is destroyed, I'm like, oh yeah, I have a shield. Also, yeah, that was a perfect dodge roll, by the way. That guy knew what was up and he's gonna kill me. Unfortunately, I think the base goes away, but I think we managed to catch up at one point. So we'll see what happens. Alright, now we're on to your mobile armor mode weapons. You have of course, you can also you can use the ReZEL beam rifle. It works the exact same way in mobile armor mode. But you also have the Binder Mega Particle Cannon ×2, which is 1,000 damage with 95% heat rate and 450 range. And basically, it's a stunning weapon. If you're familiar with the Gaza D, where it has that one ability where it can shoot from its, the weapon where it can shoot from its claws to get an instant stun. Yeah, basically the same thing here. You get 2 beams, you shoot them, you get a stun. It does do good damage. It does do good damage. There you go. And yeah, it does do 1,000 damage per beam shot, right? Because you get 2, so that can potentially be 2,000. And there's a lot of big boy suits at this cost, so it's not going to be too hard to get that damage. Also, can somebody tell me what the fuck I just get hit by there? I just took random damage. It wasn't the guy in the tank, because he wasn't in the tank yet. I have no idea what just took out like 6,000 of my health. I have no idea. But yeah. Next mobile armor mode weapon is the Shield Beam Cannon Transformed, which is 500 damage per shot with 18% heat rate, 450 range, and of course you can charge this. The stun accumulation, I believe, is different in this mode, where I believe it takes 5 shots to get a stun instead of 4. And when you do charge it up, instead of shooting 1 shot, you will actually shoot 3 shots in a row. It will overheat your weapons if you continue firing it. Actually, I didn't test if you can swap out if you can only fire once and swap. I actually had a that's my bad, but yeah, you fire 3 shots at a time, or one after another, and they'll do pretty good damage. I believe over 1,000 per shot, so that's a potential over 3,000, maybe over 4,000 damage. So yeah, and it does charge up pretty fast as well. So yeah, nice follow up, nice combo weapon right there. So yeah, pretty good. Now we're on to the next and final weapon here. Thank God you have a lot of weapons. You have the Mega Beam Launcher ×2 transformed, which is 2,000 damage, 100% heat rate, and 600 range. And of course, you have to charge it, like with the regular version of it. And yeah, it's basically the same as the Binder Mega Particle Cannon ×2, where it's just a instant stun, but it does significantly more damage. Again, 2,000 damage per shot. So if you manage to hit somebody, that can get some crazy numbers, and it does ready up, I believe, as just as fast as your ground version of the weapon. So yeah, pretty easy combo potential with all these weapons, to be honest. Really fun. But hey, let's go into the skills now. You have Radar level 3, you have Scope level 3, Data Link, Anti-Stealth level 1, which didn't help me too much. trying to fight the Shazar Team A. I say that while I'm countering him, and then he's gonna die afterwards. You have Aerospace Gimbal level 2, so you can tilt up and down further in space, help you get shots off. You have Scouting Device, which you can see your radar while you're zoomed in, while you're scoped in. You have Transformation, of course. You just transform, that's all. You use your mole armor weapons. You have Fall Prevention Program, or actually I think it's just Fall Prevention, and I believe you can tank a instant stun while you're falling out of transformation. You have Damage Control level 1, so it takes more stun accumulation to get you stunned by that way. You have Flight Control level 2, so you can boost while in the air or jump if you want to. You do have Balancers, so that actually helps you with your melee combos. You have Aim-Back level 2, you have Force Injectors level 2, you have Shield Tackle, so you do more damage as long as you have a shield while you're tackling. And you do have Wings Cushioning level 3, and I think that's just obviously where your wings would be. You are a pretty chunky suit, so I imagine you at least have to have some kind of buffer, right? And for mobile armor mode, you do have obviously the RAM. You have Blast Stabilizer. You do have a dodge roll actually, but that's in mobile armor mode. And you have Transformation Optimizer, so you'll take less thruster gauge off from transforming in and out of mobile armor mode. And hey, not on the board, but I do believe we still get a high placement at least. Gonna praise some teammates, and hey, second place, 4 and 2. And almost 90k damage, but yeah, I'm fine with that. That was pretty fun. But again, those matches are pretty fun. And yeah, let's go ahead and excuse me. Oh my goodness, what was that? Sorry, turning into Porky Pig there. All right, so now we're going on to the pros and cons. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the cons, because I mean, not my bad, the pros, because the cons are just gonna kind of be something I already repeated many times before with other flying supports. But for the pros on this suit. This suit has really, really awesome stat building. Stat building? Yeah, sure. Builds you can do with it. Like I said here, these 2 matches, I actually have max melee resistance and still have 80 range strength. And of course, you can do other stuff, like I said before. You can do a thruster gauge build, you can do a melee build, you can do just range and some other stuff going on, overheat, all that good stuff, right? It has the slots to kind of help support it, right? Obviously, the melee is going to be the lowest here with only 12 close range slots, but still, that's, again, I got the max melee resistance, so you can still do a lot with that. Next pro for this suit is, excuse me, the amount of weapons and how useful they are for this suit. You have so many weapons that can help you in so many situations. You have suits that can help you at long range, mid range, and close range, and they can combo off of each other really, really well, or help set up for another combo. Like I said here, like if you start off with the arm grenade launcher, okay, 2 shots, you're stunned. All right, let's go straight into the beam rifle. All right, I'm gonna shoot you. You're stunned again. And let's go right into the shield beam cannon. Just pop that off a few times. Just just rapid fire that, or you can charge it up because it is charged. It can charge up really fast. And there you go. There's a third stun. You can combine that with your melee weapon. So that's 2 potential other weapons you can throw in there. And if you really want to get cheeky, if you're at long range, and let's say you do like a ReZEL beam rifle, charge up, right? Charge up the beam rifle, hit them, then use your shield beam cannon. or you can just transform mobile armor mode and then try to combo off of that, because the mobile armor mode they can combo off each other just as well. You have the Mega Particle Cannon ×2, straight into the Shield Beam Cannon, or just go straight to the Mega Beam Launcher. Maybe you can use the Mega Beam Launcher to set up, and then use your Mega Particle Cannon ×2 to get another stun. You see where I'm going with this? You can, and because you have Fall Prevention program, maybe you can potentially jump in and fall on top of somebody, maybe start continuing combo that way. Who knows, right? Probably a lot safer when you have a teammate, but yeah, a lot of combo potential, a lot of different ways you can engage the enemy with this suit, and it's very, very nice to see a support being so versatile. This is a really, really huge positive for this suit. It's just how versatile it can be. Because usually when we see supports, it's always just usually they're kind of focused in one way, where okay, like the Shazar Team B, right? That suit is purely just, it just feels like you got to snipe only with that. Of course, she does have weapons that help it in close range, but and a skill, but it doesn't feel very rugged, right? It doesn't feel very good. Even with defense mode, it still feels like you're made out of paper when you get hit by somebody. But this suit, again, very, very versatile on how you can engage the enemy. That is very, very helpful with this suit. Another pro for this is that you can fly. Now, flight is also going to be a little bit of a con for this suit. But just by itself, flying is a really useful ability in this game. You can use it to get to higher ground very easily, and because you have Transformation Optimizer, well, yeah, it's not going to take too much out of your thruster gauge to get up somewhere. You know, you can get the height advantage, you can snipe down at people, and all that good stuff. And of course, it allows you to combo with your mobile armor mode weapons, right? And going into that for another pro is you do have really good skills. You do have balancers, force injectors. You do have a dodge roll in mobile armor mode, but fall prevention system. You do have scouting device. You can see your own radar while you're scoped in. That can help you a lot. You have anti-stealth, so that technically counters the Shazar Team A. Like, a lot of good stuff here, honestly. And of course, transformation optimizer, as we mentioned before. So now we're on to the cons, and the cons is that starting off, typical support stuff. Honestly, I can just say support and you guys would get it. Like, this is a support. Alright, you guys already know what's up. So, first of all, you obviously don't have a dodge roll unless you're transformed, right? But you don't have a dodge roll, you don't have maneuver armor, so you can be pretty easy to bully if somebody has multiple stuns. At 650, there are quite a few suits. Off the top of my head, there's the Rebawu with 3 different stuns. There's actually the Gustav Karl, which has 3 different stuns, and of course you can throw in some other suits there that I can't think of off the top of my head. If you go for raids, maybe like the Chars de Jay, I think that one has more than 1 stun, right? So if you get caught, you get caught. And if you're trying to fly away, which is going to lead to another con, you don't have shock dampeners in flight mode. You have to do a hard read and dodge roll whenever you think you get a shot, right? And this is kind of a con I always give supports that can fly. I get the reasoning why they want to give supports shock dampeners, because obviously, like, let's say you're a melee oriented raid and you're trying to chase a support. Well, okay, he just pressed the touchpad button, he's already flying away. How do you stop him, right? But there's a lot of suits at again, we mentioned multiple stuns at 650, general-wise, raid-wise, and there's a lot of range raids that are very popular right now, like the Delta Plus, the Yagdoga GG, and we mentioned the Chars de Jay. So it can feel very, very frustrating if you're trying to combo into your mobile armor mode, or trying to use your mobile armor mode to set up for your team, when some just random chucklefuck can just point a stun at you in your general direction and just pop you out of the sky very easily. It's a little bit annoying. They're trying really hard to get around the fact that supports don't have shock dampeners. They give you fall prevention system for when you're out of transformation, and they give you a dodge roll for when you're in transformation. However, it can be really hard to try and dodge roll somebody that's like, when you're only facing forward, you can't look around, you can't tell if somebody's going to shoot you, right? So, yeah, I'm definitely going to give that a con for this suit, is, the flight mode can be kind of iffy, but if you do manage to make it work, it does do great work. I just wish that I kind of do wish they would give a lot of these supports shock dampeners. Again, I can see why, but at high cost, like at $650, I think you probably should start giving them shock dampeners, especially if they have a whole other toolkit going on with their mobile armor mode, right? I mean, look at the Delta Kai. Delta Kai's been doing really good right now in transformation mode. Maybe that's why they don't want the support to have that. They don't want to be another Delta Kai. But to be honest, Delta Kai does have abilities that help it be that way in transformation mode. So again, I think probably time to start experimenting with shock dampeners on flight supports, right? Probably about time to do that. But yeah, another con for this suit. It's kind of a small one. Oh, I say small one. It's that you're big. You are a big boy. You are pretty much a block. I say big boy, not like big chunky like the O. Like I said, you're like a block. You have so many parts that people can just hit. It's not very hard to stun you at all. And again, that goes into the other two cons I have for this suit. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this suit. And yeah, honestly, really fun suit to play. I really enjoy playing this. And I honestly, I really do recommend you guys roll for this, because there's so many things you can do with this suit. And I've only begun to touch the tip of the iceberg with it. Like I said, the first match and the second match, I played kind of differently here. The first match in space, I actually played a little bit more melee oriented. And I didn't even have a melee build going on with that. I was just, like I said, the melee defense and the range defense, right? And I still got almost 130k damage. And then we look at the second match. That was a little bit more range focused, of course. And of course, a lot of stuff happening where I couldn't get as much damage as possible, but still, more range focused. And of course, if you're going into different maps, like let's say trenches, Arctic base, military base, all these different maps at different ranges, this suit has a purpose on all of them, right? Of course, Arctic base might be the toughest one because playing a support in the first place on Arctic base can be kind of tough anyway. But it still has weapons that can help engage in all these different areas, and I really do, and I cannot understate this enough. I really do appreciate having a support that is very versatile like this, and having these different combos that go into each other. It feels very nice to have this. So I really would appreciate if the devs would start looking into this more with other supports, for higher cost. And you know what? We sort of do. Recently, I say recently. At 700 we only had two supports: the Dagdoll and the Kshatriya. The Kshatriya is really fantastic. They also buffed the Dagdoll to have melee combo controller now. So, except for the Beam Spear, unfortunately, you can only do that with the Beam Saber. But that's still something. They're trying to buff up these supports. The C1 got buffed, which is nice. So, hopefully, when they release a new support, they can be a little bit kind of like this. Like, this is a really good example of what I like to see a support do. And of course, if you want to have a sniping suit, it's totally fine just to have a sniping suit, right? But this suit's just really helpful because it doesn't feel like it can get fucked over in a lot of situations. Unless it's a 2v1, of course, because you are a support. You don't have a dodge roll and all that. I have a mobile armor mode, but yeah, anyway, that's going to be it, and I will see you guys. Actually, no, before I gotta do the sign-offs. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like this video and all that good stuff. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. And, let me know in the comment section how you feel about the ReZEL Type C, what was it called? Unit B unit support pack, something like Defensor, Garuda, the fucking thing from Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, the ReZEL Type C Defensor B unit. There we go. Yeah, let me know how you guys feel about that. I honestly really love this suit. I think it could be a really fantastic suit to play, and I can't wait to see people that actually, that are really good at this game play this suit, and I want to see what they can do. Right, a lot of good potential with this. But yeah, that'll be it, and I will see you guys later. Bye.